Did you know that our nose is capable of smelling more than 50,000 different smells? For a long time ago now, we believed that the sense of smell in human beings is the least useful. But scientists are now explaining that when we smell a rose, for example, we are actually smelling 275 different scents, which altogether result in the scent of a rose. So we can say without a doubt that to smell good is a matter of noses. Did you know that if we were to join all the blood vessels in our body, they would measure approximately 97,000 kilometers? It sounds incredible, but it's true. If we were to put in a line all our blood vessels, meaning the veins, the arteries, and the capillaries, they would measure up to 97,000 kilometers. They would go round the world 2.5 times. When taking this fact into consideration, we realize what lengthy travelers our blood cells are, as they journey 20,000 kilometers a day in our body. Did you know that the word brain comes from the Latin word cerebrum, which means what is carried in the head? And we're not talking about hats. The brain is one of the most fascinating parts of our body, as well as being the most curious thing. The brain has 100 billion neurons, which are in charge of processing and working on all the information received, just like a computer. Neurons have different shapes and information travels through them at different speeds. That is why we sometimes remember things we have just stored in our brain, and other times it takes longer to remember. And what about your neurons? Will they remember these fascinating facts about the human body? I'm sure they will.
Search us and subscribe to Happy Learning's YouTube channel.
Did you know that our brain doesn't hurt? If we were poked in the brain, we wouldn't feel anything because the brain doesn't feel pain. Don't get on your nerves. When we are stressed, meaning when we are very, very nervous, our brain shrinks. It becomes smaller and works worse. So we need to relax. Do you know how much our brain weighs? Well, our brain weighs 1.5 kilos. The truth is, I thought it weighed a lot less. Can you hear it? It's laughter. Laughter is very good for our brain. When we laugh, our brain is also happy. And it makes us think more clearly and be more positive. So everyone, let's laugh! The brain never rests. When we sleep, our brain is still active, and thanks to it, our heart keeps pumping and our lungs keep breathing. The human body is incredible, isn't it? So it works better. We need to do a lot of physical and mental exercise. The more we use it, the more it works. Goodbye, happy friends. See you in the next Happy Learning video.
Search us and subscribe to Happy Learning's YouTube channel.
5 things you didn't know about the human skeleton. What is stronger, steel or human bones? Scientists say that our bones are 5 times stronger than steel. A piece of bone the size of a phone can withstand up to 9,000 kilos. And luckily, they are, because they protect all important organs in our body, like the brain or heart. What parts of the body have more bones? Out of the 206 bones that an adult has, 52 are found in the feet and 54 in the hands. More than half of the bones we have are found in our hands and feet. It seems unreal, right? Which is the longest bone of the body and the smallest? The longest bone we have is the femur, which joins the pelvis with the knee. The smallest bone of the body is the stirrup, which is in the ear and measures between 2.5 and 3 millimeters. Now that you see it, do you understand why it's called the stirrup? Of course, it's the same as the stirrup we use to horse ride. Who has more bones in their neck? A person or a giraffe? You've all thought of the giraffe, didn't you? Well, no, there's a draw. The long giraffe neck has 7 bones, 7 vertebrae, and exactly the same as a human neck. Who has more bones? A baby or an adult? Well, the baby wins, having approximately 300 bones. Newborns have some split bones, but over time, some of them are joint until they reach 206 that an adult skeleton has. The truth is that the human body is marvelous, don't you think? Goodbye, friends. See you in the next Happy Learning video.
Search us and subscribe to Happy Learning's YouTube channel.
Do you know how many times our eyes blink in 1 minute? Our eyes blink approximately between 15 and 20 times a minute. That equals to, minusing the hours that we're sleeping, about 14,000 times a day. It's tiring just thinking about it. Did you know that babies cry without tears? Yes, most newborn children cry with no tears. This occurs because babies' tear ducts are developing until normally 4 weeks after they are born. From then on, they cry with tears and some screaming. Did you know that it's impossible to sneeze with your eyes open? Achoo! According to scientific studies, when we sneeze, achoo, we close our eyes as an act of reflex to protect our eyes of all bacteria that comes from our nose and mouth when we sneeze. Achoo! Do you know why we blink? It's due to hygiene, to cleanliness. Our eyes blink because this way they are always clean and humid. We also blink to protect ourselves. For example, when a bright light bothers us, or when an object comes near us and can damage our eyes. Do our eyes grow? While our nose and ears grow throughout our whole life, our eyes remain almost the same size our entire life. Imagine what we would look like if they never stopped growing. We would look like aliens. Another amazing fun fact about the human body, don't you think? Goodbye, friends. See you in the next Happy Learning video.
Search us and subscribe to Happy Learning's YouTube channel.
Hello friends! We all know that in order to live we have to breathe, and to carry out this very important function we use the respiratory system. Breathing is an involuntary process that we do without realizing, but we can control it. Today, we're going to find out what breathing consists of and how the respiratory system works. The first thing we need to know is that breathing consists of inhaling air in nature to take advantage of the oxygen it contains, and thereby expelling the carbon dioxide, which is the part of the air we don't use. The first phase, which is when the air enters the lungs, is called inhalation. The second phase, which is when we expel the air we don't use, is called exhalation. They are the exact opposite. The respiratory system is responsible for breathing, and for that it uses the lungs and the airways, which are the parts that compose it. The airways are tubes through which the air passes until it reaches the lungs. And they are made up of the nose and mouth, the pharynx, the larynx, the trachea, the bronchi, the bronchioles, and the alveoli. Now, let's take a look at how the respiratory system works. When we breathe in, air enters our body through our nose and mouth. The air then passes through the pharynx and into the larynx. Did you know that the larynx contains the vocal cords, which allow us to speak or sing? La 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 la. They are like the strings of a guitar. When they vibrate, they produce the voice. Well, once the air has passed through the larynx, it reaches the trachea. The trachea is divided into two tubes through which the air passes, which are called the bronchi. The bronchi, once inside the lungs, branch into narrower tubes called bronchioles. And each bronchiole leads into many small sacs called alveoli. And it is there, in the alveoli, where gas exchange takes place. The oxygen in the air passes into the blood through some very small blood vessels which are called alveoli. Then, what is left over from the air, which is carbon dioxide, travels back through the respiratory system to be expelled outside. As you can see, the respiratory system is very important, so we have to take good care of it. And for that, we have to practice a lot of sport and take care of nature so as not to pollute the air we breathe. Healthy lungs are pink, but when we breathe in tobacco smoke or when the air is very polluted, they turn brown and stop working properly. When this happens, we get tired without doing anything, and we start to feel really bad. It's certainly not very smart to damage our lungs, don't you think? So, make sure you do lots of physical exercise and remember, never ever smoke to ensure that your lungs will always be very healthy and that you will always be very happy. Goodbye, friends. See you in the next video.
Search us and subscribe to Happy Learning's YouTube channel.
Hello everyone. The vital functions. Nutrition. As you know, all living things need food, and that is the function called nutrition. Depending on what food they eat, animals may be herbivores, carnivores, or omnivores. Herbivores eat plants and grasses, and they may eat the stems, roots, fruit, seeds, or leaves, just like this tall giraffe is doing. Some herbivores are very special. The ruminants, like goats and cows. They're special because they swallow their food almost without chewing it, and then store it in their stomach. Then, when they want to, they bring it back into their mouth and chew and swallow it again. It might seem a bit disgusting to us, but that's what ruminants do. Carnivorous animals feed on meat. They hunt and eat other animals so they can feed. These animals have ferocious teeth, long, sharp claws, and in the case of birds, very strong beaks to hunt their prey with. Omnivores are both carnivorous and herbivorous. They eat both meat and plants. Pigs and bears are omnivores. Can you guess who else is too? People. Human beings are also omnivores. We can eat a roast chicken or a nice lettuce and tomato salad. Plants do not eat. They are able to manufacture the food they need within themselves, taking water and other substances from the soil and using the air and sunlight. The vital functions. Interaction. Living things need to be aware of the environment they are in to know what happens around them and to react to it. This function is called interaction. Look at these zebras. They're scared because they recognize the lion's roar and know it means danger. All the animals you see interact with each other, play, help, care about each other, but they also fight. To survive, all animals need to know about the place where they live very well and to communicate with each other. Animals use their organs to know what is going on around them and to react to danger. With their eyes, they can see what's happening. Like eagles, who have a magnificent view looking down from the sky for something to hunt. Ooh, look out! He's gonna get us! With our ears, we can hear if an animal with bad intentions is approaching. With our noses, we smell if there's tasty food anywhere near. With our skin and our sense of touch, we feel the tenderness of caresses and of tickles. Animals need to communicate in order to relate with each other. Many do so through smells. Others, like this chameleon, change their colours. Others, like this noisy squirrel, communicate through sound. Although they don't move around and don't have eyes or a nose or any other sense organ, plants also interact. When they perceive the sunlight, their stems move and grow towards it. The vital functions. Reproduction. The last function is reproduction. This allows living things to make new living things, and so they ensure the continuity of life. Aren't these little babies adorable? Animals have two ways of reproducing. They may be oviparous or viviparous. Oviparous animals like birds, turtles, or these little crocs hatch from eggs. Viviparous animals are born from the womb of their mothers, like these dolphins, giraffes, and humans. Plants have many ways of reproducing, but most do it through their seeds. These seeds fall to the ground, germinate, and give life to a new plant. Now you know the three vital functions. Goodbye for now, everyone.
Search us and subscribe to Happy Learning's YouTube channel.